Ray. What do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Patterns. So why not feel good for no good reason? You're always one thought away from doing that.
Perfect.
So, and I guess just to add on that analogy with the subconscious, your GPS, is that it really is your internal navigation system, and the map of your GPS is your imagination. It allows you to create whatever you want before you even get there, and then the voice of your subconscious or your voice of your GPS are your feelings, your emotional state. That's why it's super critical for people to learn how to control their emotions.
Perfect, Wayne. Perfect. You know, we are firm believers in the law of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
At first, we were skeptical, but we tried it. And Wayne, let me tell you something, man. We manifested things that absolutely blew our minds. So can you please tell us some of your stories with the law of attraction?
In terms of some of my successes or some of the people I've...
Yes, please.
Well, you know,
both.
Okay,
yes.
Well, I'm very, very fortunate. I mean, I've been blessed to follow my heart, and I think that can be a trite saying for a lot of people, but I really believe that's what success is following your own heart and aligning it in service to others. So for myself, I mean, my story started out when I was involved in the sport of amateur wrestling, and I was getting beat up in that sport, but in some strange way, I stuck with it. I got pretty good, and then I started to set some pretty bold goals for myself. And the first goal that I set that was really a benchmark or a turning point in my life is that I wanted to get into the finals of the Canadian Amateur Wrestling Championships. And I had a little mantra that I said to myself, and this is back in grade 10, and the mantra was, I'm going to get into the finals. I'm going to get into the finals. And throughout the whole year, I won matches, I lost matches, I won tournaments, lost tournaments, but I learned a whole lot, and I overcame a lot of stress and a lot of nervousness, and I kept saying to myself, I'm going to make it into the finals. Finally, we get to the national championships. I wrestle my first 3 matches. I win those matches. I wrestle my next match, and this match would obviously get me into the finals, so it was my match that I needed to win in order to achieve my goal. Wrestling somebody a lot stronger, a lot more experienced, and we went for 5 minutes. It was a 3-all tie. I went back on the mat after sudden death overtime. Had no idea what my coach said to me because I was still just in a daze thinking, I'm going to make it into the finals. I'm going to make it into the finals. Get back on the mat. We get off the mat, come back. I'm ready to wrestle again, and my hand is raised. And so, yes, wow. I achieved my goal of getting into the finals. That was the whole goal. And then the next day I'm going for the gold medal, and I lose. But here's the punchline, is the person that I actually lost to, that person lost to the person I beat to get into the finals. I realized throughout that whole year that I said one thing to myself, I'm going to make it into the finals. I programmed myself to get to the finals and not win the gold. My coach even said, he said, you know, you get what you focus upon, Wayne, and what did you focus upon? And it was, I focused upon getting into the finals, which wasn't a bad thing, but I knew that I settled because I could have achieved that gold medal. And so he really just said, hey, you got to flip your focus. You got to focus on aiming high. So since that time, I mean, I became a 5-time Canadian wrestling champion. That's where I really learned a lot about the art of visualization, guided imagery, without even calling it hypnosis. And I became a school teacher. I was teaching for a couple of years, but I felt there was something missing for myself, and always a big believer in, you know, having an open mind to other things. One night I was out in a nightclub watching a hypnosis show with my girlfriend at the time. I'd seen her get hypnotized right beside me in the audience, and I just shook my head and said, I want to learn how to do that. And then I picked it up as a hobby. It became something where it was self-taught because it was in the early 90s. There was no internet. I reached out to a lot of experts in the field, and I just studied what was working. And I followed my dream. So I've been a full-time hypnotist traveling all over North America and the world for the last 20 years. Started out doing more of the entertainment aspect, but I really have transitioned into entertaining, educating, and empowering people with a very interactive hypnotic presentation that focuses upon positive programming for optimal performance. And now, you know, traveling all around, doing what I love. You know, some of the people I've worked with or the companies that I've worked with, I still get emails and still get people connecting with me about, you know, the stuff that I've done with them and the takeaway tools and the programs that they've used to help them achieve their goals. And which is always just some of the greatest rewards, is to have those people continually have those testimonials. Because, I really think that part of my life and part of my challenge of empowering others is really about empowering myself, standing up and overcoming my people-pleasing aspect and my own power, making decisions. And the best way to do that is to live it myself, so then I can set the example for other people.
Right. Okay, so Wayne, do you believe that playing affirmations while we sleep can retrain our subconscious mind?
I do, based on proof, and again, I want to be very clear on this, is that I'm self-taught. I've done courses in different modalities like NLP and hypnosis, but I never became a hypnotherapist per se, so I don't do the clinical work in the office. I've worked with people with achieving their goals and that, but I've really set myself apart from being the person that just sits in the office doing hypnotherapy sessions. I do know, from my own experience in terms of playing my own programs, playing other people's programs, I'm a big advocate, a big believer in playing those programs just before going to bed. And then once you fall asleep, I believe, and again, it's a belief, I don't have any absolute proof to back it up, but when those particular affirmations are being played and you're still asleep, I believe there's a certain part of us, an unconscious part, that picks up on that programs us. So I'm a big believer in listening to the self-hypnosis programs and meditation programs just before going to sleep, putting us to sleep, and I believe that there's a great benefit from that.
Okay. So have you ever gave a past life regression? If so, tell us about it.
I've never done past life regression. I have done stuff on stage where I've regressed people into childhood, but it was mainly for entertainment purposes. So I know people that do the past life regression. I think there's some fascinating stories. There's some fascinating people that are doing it out there. My own experience, I am not experienced with that, though.
Okay. So can you share some of the most incredible things you've seen during a hypnosis session?
Well, again, because I'm doing a lot of group work and a lot of presentations, I would say that some of the individuals that I have worked with, they've definitely hit goals. One lady in particular that I worked with wanting to have her weight. She wanted to be her ideal weight. She lost 30 pounds. So those goal type situations have happened. But, some of the most amazing things is, I do this takeaway tool and this exercise that I take people through on my stage when I'm presenting or performing, and it's called the Magical Color Association. So people are identifying a goal, feeling as though they've achieved it. They then associate that with their a color, as well as putting their hand to their heart. I have had people, two ladies on separate occasions, say, I've used the color association. I was trying to get pregnant, and after I went through that exercise, I got pregnant. Now keep in mind, I'm not saying that I got her pregnant. Keep in mind that she used that exercise to release what was inhibiting her from getting pregnant with her husband. And, that's remarkable. I think that's, those types of things are great. I've had, again, lots of people email me about their success stories and just their confidence that they build. I've seen some pretty incredible things on stage happen in terms of crazy and wild things on stage, in terms of funny things, as well as, outrageous things that have happened on stage, wild stories and that. But I don't know if that's what you're looking for.
Well, that was great. I think the listeners will enjoy that. Mm-hmm. Can you please share with us some of your current projects that you are working on right now, as well as where we can find more about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, for sure. No, thanks for asking, Erica. First of all, people can find me out just at WayneLee.com. We're going through a revamp of my site right now, which is great, because I think that, as long as I've been doing it, I feel as though I'm just starting. I'm really upping the message to what I've been doing. So really what I do is entertainment with a message. It's a great way to learn. People are laughing, they're having fun, they're having a blast, and then they can boost their performance. So going to WayneLee.com, people can check out some of the new exciting things. I'm in the midst of creating what I call the Optimal Performance Academy.
Okay.
And so that's going to be an ongoing academy that is going to be teaching people mental programming tools, really about how people can change their mindset to perform better. And I've got a book on the go that's, it's been on hold for a bit, but the book is called Your GPS to Success. Okay. And then a couple TV projects that I'm working on that we're pitching to the networks right now. We got a teaser, and I'm just working with a production group. So this next year is very exciting. And then, as I've already said, that I'm in Canada. I've done a lot of work in Canada, some work in the States, some work, throughout the world. But I'm really looking forward to expanding into the market in the States. So half, if not more, of my events in the States, corporate companies will get me to, again, show them how to boost their performance, their team performance, while having a blast. So those are some of the new exciting things that I'm working on, and hope to be creating a lot more value within the context of the Optimal Performance Academy for people.
Okay, that sounds great. Sounds really exciting. I'm sure our listeners are going to definitely keep up with you.
Awesome, Wayne. Really, thank you so much for being on You Are Creators.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you very much for having me, and I wish everybody out there best of success.
Awesome.
Thank you.
This is Justin and Erica from You Are Creators, and we support your dreams.